Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabanson to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see it. Let's get straight into this topic here. So, as you guys know, the NBA media has been losing its mind over the fact that the Lakers lost. And the biggest storyline coming out of the game was the free throws and the officiating, because these weak-ass Laker players were crying. Bro, the Lakers held a meeting with the referees at the end of the game. Do you understand how crazy that looks? They held a meeting with the refs at the end of the game, bro. The Oklahoma City Thunder players were laughing at the Lakers. They're complaining about free throws when they've had a free throw advantage for the entire season. Austin Reeves and all, you got JJ Redick. Just, yo, JJ, dog, like, he's never seen the most unfair. Bro, have you ever watched Shaquille O'Neal play basketball? But he's the most unfairly. Did you watch Shaq? Shaq was getting fouled like on damn near every single play. So they were crying, and to me, I thought it was absolutely disgusting. And people were trying to turn it into this thing like as if, oh, the free throw shooting determined the series, determining the game. They lost by 18 points. The free throw differential was 5 free throws. 5. And you lost by 18. You lost by 18 in game 1. You're losing this series by 36 points. But you want to make it about free throws when SGA was in foul trouble for the entire first half of the game? But y'all want to make it about free throws? So what happened? They're trying to push this narrative because that's what some of these guys do. So Kendrick Perkins went on the Pat McAfee show. And he was on there to talk about this. And just when you thought this ridiculousness couldn't be taken to another level, it was. Kendrick Perkins went on the Pat McAfee show and claimed that the NBA rigged Game 2 so that LeBron James and the Lakers... You simply cannot make this stuff up. But before we get into Perkins' comments, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. All right, guys, the regular season is wrapped up and the NBA playoffs are finally here. And there's no better way to cash in and all of the high-flying hoop action than PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Every bucket, every dime, every win means when you're making lineups on PrizePicks. And here's something you didn't want to sleep on. PrizePicks has the Do It Live 2026 NBA Finals sweepstakes going on right now. Make a $5 lineup with at least one live NBA player picked during the playoffs, and you could win a trip for 2 to the NBA Finals. That alone is reason enough to check out PrizePicks right now. I've been making lineups on the Celtics and Lakers players, and it makes watching the playoffs so much more fun. It's simple. Just pick more or less on player projections across basketball, baseball, hockey, and more. You can even pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup with stacks. And if your picks get off to a hot start, cash out early with easy payouts before the game even ends. PrizePicks is now available in all 50 states. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. All right, perfect. So what I want to do is I'm going to play what Kendrick Perkins had to say here. And I'm going to come back and continue on. Take a listen to these comments.
Let's talk about the playoffs. Oklahoma City team cheats. The Oklahoma City team just cheats all the time. The refs are rigging these games for them to win, to get more fouls. And last night, it did feel as if it was a showcase of being pissed off about the refs from the Lakers. Now, JJ Redick, former fiery player, I think him being a head coach certainly doesn't help the fact that, he probably operates a little bit differently with the refs than maybe some other head coaches would that come up through the coaching ranks in a different fashion. I think he's a little bit more comfortable with knowing who they are. But it was certainly a display of, hey, you guys are ass. And then Austin Reeves afterwards, they circle these refs, don't let them leave, and say, hey, we got more to say to you actually before you get out of here. This felt big. This felt like a really big deal to me. Perk, how did you view it all, and why is this always the conversation around these Oklahoma City Thunder teams?
Well, number one, let me say this. I love when JJ throws those temper tantrums on the sideline. Those are the classic moments. If we could bring up a top 10 of JJ rants and his temper tantrum moments, that would be great. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we have a problem. We have a serious problem right now, and that game last night highlighted it. I believe that I love Adam Silver. I think he's the best commissioner in sports. I love that, He's a man of the people. And with that being said, he's going to have to listen to the people. They have a lot of upset fans that are on the internet that were watching the game that didn't like the way that game was called last night. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't like it either. Matter of fact, I hated it, every single moment of it. It was nothing but complaining. It was a lot of flopping going on. It was a lot of no calls. And here's the thing, right? When you get players, and this has been a trend throughout the postseason, calling out officiating, you have to address it. And it's not just addressing the players with fines. That's one thing. But the officials got to have some level of accountability. And also, you don't want to get to the point where fans are sitting up here talking about the game is rigged. Because we do have to take in mind that what's one of the biggest, things that make the biggest money makers out there?
Yeah.
Betting, sports betting. So we don't want to start messing and having fans thinking that it's something going on with the integrity of the game. So you got to clean up this flopping nonsense. You have to clean it up. Last night, I thought it was extremely bad. I thought OKC all across the board, this was one of their worst moments, in my opinion. You know how I feel about OKC. You know how I feel about Shea. But damn it, I got to call it like I see it. It's facts over feelings.
Great. So you heard what Kendrick Perkins had to say. What are my thoughts about this? Is this what we doing? Is this what we doing? Hey, yo, Kendrick, what about the game when the Lakers had like 24 free throw attempts versus the Toronto Raptors in the fourth quarter? Did the NBA rig the game for the Lakers to win? Is this the road you want to go down, bro? But beyond the fact that this line of argument is embarrassing, bro, the entire thing looks weak. Y'all are making, some of these people are making it seem like as if the Lakers have a shot. They don't have a shot. So what are all of these excuses we're making? Y'all are making it seem like, oh, the Lakers really have a shot to beat. Okay, they don't have a shot in hell. In this series thus far, SGA has yet to play a great game. And they're losing by an average of 18 points per game. It's not even a close series at all. I can see if the Lakers were losing these games by like 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Then I can say, okay, maybe, you know what I mean? If the ball bounced this way, a call this way, a call that way, it could potentially decided some of these games. They're getting blown out in every single game. And this is the excuse that you guys want to reach for? That the NBA is rigging? Why would the NBA rig the game against the Lakers? How does that benefit the Lakers? Wouldn't the NBA, if anything, want the Lakers to do well and get to the finals? Wouldn't that help with ratings and them to make more money? Why would they work against their own self? They're rigging the game to benefit Oklahoma City and SGA and these guys? Like, this is what we're doing? This to me is just careless journalism. This is what happens when you're constantly trying to reach for views and hot takes. Like, this is exactly what happens. This is what you call a reach. But in this case, it's an embarrassing reach. Like, what are we talking about? Is this how low you guys are willing to go to ensure that these guys win? Now the NBA is rigging the series. You watched in round one when the refs literally were swallowing their whistles, when Ayton and these guys were jumping for jump balls. Nobody said anything. Nobody said anything. It wasn't rigged then, but now it's rigged.